Experts are warning the Southwest is facing a critical crisis when it comes to the Colorado River.
This entire month, we've taken you to the Rocky Mountains, followed the water, and gone in depth on the river's overuse.
Tonight, in our final part of Troubled Waters Colorado River Crisis Series, morning anchor Angela Chen looks at possible solutions in river rescue.
Boom!
Dare to tango with the Colorado.
Got him.
And you'd better know how to swim because you might be dipped and flipped.
There he goes.
At 20 feet deep and 300 across, these are untamed waters.
Bad place to go for a swim.
A ride with Wild West Voyages in Moab, Utah reminds us we are only visitors in the vast force of nature.
The world is made of water. Everything beautiful in this world happens probably because of water. So there's little doubt that human beings are drawn to it.
Drawn to it, to draw from it. People have been using Colorado River water for millennia, but because of human-driven climate change and chronic overuse, water is dropping to dangerous levels.
When you start pulling dead bodies from Lake Mead,
Yeah.
at some point it gets people's attention.
Lake Mead is the nation's largest reservoir near Hoover Dam and a major source of water for California.
And today, Lake Mead is at about elevation 1066, so we've seen about a 100-foot decline.
Now we are at a critical juncture. Policymakers have portioned out more water than there actually is in the river. But in part due to a lucky year of rain and snowpack in 2023, California, Arizona, and Nevada have agreed to take temporary cutbacks. A lot of that is the F word.
It means fallowing farmland, not farming.
Coachella Valley and Imperial Valley farmers agreeing to fallow their lands. And in exchange for water reduction, different Coachella Valley groups are receiving up to $36 million from the federal government, including the Coachella Valley Water District, which voted in early November to stop aquifer replenishment over the next few years. But all of this is only a Band-Aid until 2026 to keep water levels steady. The 7 states that use the Colorado have to find a permanent solution beyond that.
If this were a baseball game, what inning do you think we are in terms of this final agreement?
Yeah, we're still in the first few innings right now trying to address this problem. We've got a long way to go.
Nothing is set in stone, but some ideas floated include renegotiating the 1922 Colorado River Compact, deciding who gets water first. But California, which has senior rights and holds about half of all water users, is not budging, saying the compact is the bedrock of the law of the river. IID has said it is absolutely against it.
But everybody should realize, if there is less water in the river, we should all proportionately share in the reduction.
With farmers using 80% of all river water, some question particularly thirsty crops like alfalfa.
Much of that is being exported to foreign countries, Asia, Saudi Arabia, and other places in the Middle East. And so if you told people in California and Arizona that they were exporting their water to Asia and the Middle East, I think they would not be happy about that.
It's big business worth billions. In early October, Arizona canceled state land leases for Saudi-owned farms growing alfalfa for the Middle East. In California, about 40% of the alfalfa grown is shipped to Asia. One solution proposed is that farmers harvest alfalfa fewer times a year. Here at the Hoover Dam, Nevada leaders say Las Vegas has the right idea. The city has reduced river water use by 31% over the past 20 years, all while increasing its population by 50%.
We recycle and reuse every drop of indoor water that occurs in Las Vegas. Everything that goes down the drain, showers, sinks, toilets, dishes, doesn't matter. All of that water gets reclaimed. We treat that water to near drinking water standards and return it back to Lake Mead.
The city is leading the way in water efficiency and hoping others will follow. Other ideas include desalination plants and even building a pipeline from the Mississippi River, which has too much water, often flooding cities. Both are often dismissed as too expensive. The clock is ticking for states and tribes because while there is breathing room from our very wet year, we still have to figure out how to not take more than what nature can give.
It has been a force greater than humans for a long time.
With so much in a semi-arid, dry, desert-like place, we are still thriving. That tells something about our ingenuity, but that also can push us into arrogance.
It's a lesson we'll pay dearly for if we don't work out a solution, both sustainable and responsible, come 2026. From across the Southwest, Angela Chen, News Channel 3.